Stop abandoning your path just because someone else's journey looks faster and more impressive today. Most people fail by choosing too many directions instead of staying steady through quiet growth. The bravest thing you can do is remain consistent when your progress feels completely invisible. Elena realized that sideways movement often looks like responsibility but actually hides true stagnation daily. Sideways steps feel productive because you stay busy while actually avoiding your most meaningful goals. Growth is surprisingly fragile when you measure your internal success by looking at external standards. Sarah protected her 20 minutes of quiet effort even when her energy felt dangerously thin. Urgent tasks are loud and demanding while your true purpose waits patiently for your return. Immediate distractions win the battle for your time whenever you fail to protect your direction. Marcus learned that depth only exists in the middle of a long and repetitive journey. Mastery is the hidden opportunity you miss by constantly escaping into exciting new beginnings instead. Novelty provides a short burst of energy but fades quickly, leaving you in constant starts. Consistency is quiet and boring, but it is where real foundations are built for life. Nora stayed through the boring days to prove she was committed even without emotional excitement. Stability creates deep trust in yourself, even when your path looks plain to the world. Comparison almost erased a year of quiet discipline for a student seeking perfect English fluency. Don't change your direction just because your mood shifted during a long and tiring day. Alignment matters more than ambition when you sit alone with your work in the dark. Steadiness changes how you see yourself and how you speak about your long-term goals now. Leo stopped chasing every new spark to finally build something that actually felt truly real. The middle is where your commitment is tested by temptation rather than by actual failure. Ordinary repetition is the secret place where your future identity is being formed right now. Quiet growth feels invisible in a noisy world that only rewards loud, invisible changes. Maya decided what mattered before the world could tell her what should actually matter most. Postponing is a silent decision that leads to a life filled with many unfinished beginnings. Your path doesn't shout for attention, it just sits there waiting for your brave return. Protection of small efforts is more powerful than searching for dramatic bursts of fleeting motivation. Excitement fading is a signal that you have finally entered the real phase of growth. Neutral days are where the most important decisions about your future are actually being made. Sophia stopped asking if her work was impressive and started asking if it was aligned. The reward of staying is the discipline itself, not just the final certificate or trophy. Beginnings are easy, but finishing requires a heart that can handle the weight of repetition. Don't let a crowded cafe make your personal goals feel small or less significant today. James realized that his most organized days were often the ones where he drifted most. Meaningful work is quiet, and it will wait forever while you chase every urgent distraction. True progress is private and invisible until it becomes a masterpiece for all to see. Arya found that her best energy was being stolen by things that were merely immediate. Repetition is like brushing your teeth, it is necessary even when it feels completely uninspiring. Mastery requires staying in one place long enough to see what lies beneath the surface. Boredom is the ultimate test of whether you actually care about your chosen life path. Stop looking for external confirmation and start building an internal compass that never wavers now. The middle of the journey is where most people quietly step away from their dreams. Quiet clarity is better than huge motivation when you are facing a long uphill climb. Aliyah understood that her path was not wrong, it was just currently in a quiet. Success doesn't always feel like a breakthrough, sometimes it just feels like a normal day. Don't act on your questions until you have let the emotional storm pass you by. Stay steady in a noisy world that is constantly trying to sell you a shortcut. Your goals are still valid even if they don't sound bold when you explain them. Consistency builds a life that feels real while novelty only builds a life of flashes. Victor discovered that depth is only found by those who refuse to leave the middle. Protect your direction like a treasure because the world will try to steal it daily. Small progress is still progress even if no one is watching or clapping for you. Choose to be someone who finishes instead of someone who only starts with a bang. The longest paths are built on quiet choices made when you didn't feel like moving. Zoe learned that staying through the boredom was the only way to reach true mastery. If you stay long enough, you will stop needing the world to tell you well. Doubt appears because you care, not because you are on the wrong path right now. Fragile direction can be strengthened by deciding what truly matters to you before you start. Sideways movement is the most dangerous trap because it feels exactly like real productive work. Meaningful goals don't demand your time, they simply wait for you to value them again. Stay for the boring parts if you want to see the beautiful parts at the Repetition is the only way to turn a small skill into a powerful, life-changing habit. Maya found that her ordinary routine was actually the most special part of her day. Don't mistake a fading feeling for a sign that you should quit your current path. Internal trust is built when you show up on the days you want to hide. Steadiness is a quiet power that eventually speaks louder than any dramatic or sudden change. Your foundation is being built in the moments where nothing exciting is actually happening today. Master the art of staying when everyone else is looking for the nearest exit sign. A quiet life of progress is better than a loud life of constant resets now. Chloe realized that her goals felt small only when she compared them to strangers' dreams. The middle is not a place to escape, it is the place to grow deep. Stay on the path, even when the path feels like it is going nowhere fast. Consistency is the highest form of self-respect you can practice in a distracted world today. Don't let the noise of others drown out the quiet whisper of your own purpose. Real change happens in the normal moments when you choose to keep going regardlessly now. Focus is not just saying yes, it is saying no to every shiny new distraction. Your path is unique because it is yours, not because it looks like a movie. Daniel found that simple goals were the hardest to keep, but the most rewarding overall. Refuse to be a collector of beginnings and become a creator of deep finished works. The world rewards speed, but life rewards those who have the patience to stay still. One step forward is better than 10 steps sideways in 1,000 different directions today. Brave hearts are forged in the quiet fire of daily repetition and steady silent effort. Identity is what remains when the excitement of a new project finally disappears for good. Protect your 20 minutes, as if your entire future depends on that small quiet window. Isabella understood that her slow progress was actually the most stable thing in her life. Growth doesn't need to be loud to be real, and it doesn't need applause. The middle of your journey is exactly where you're supposed to be right now. Stop searching for a sign and start trusting the decision you already made long ago. Mastery is a quiet house built one small brick at a time over many years. Don't trade your long-term depth for a short-term burst of exciting but empty novelty today. Stay through the neutral days to reach the days that will eventually change your life. Quiet choices are the heavy stones that build the strongest walls of your personal character. Your purpose hasn't changed just because your mood is a little heavy this Tuesday afternoon. Focus on being steady instead of being fast, and you will eventually pass everyone else. The bravest move is to open your notebook when you feel like doing literally anything. Build a life that feels real by staying exactly where you meant to be today. Success is the sum of small quiet efforts repeated day in and day out forever.